That was not the sound of an elephant. I tried to make the sound of an elephant and I failed. Hello, it's your teacher, Timothy. Actually, I like to say, hello, beautiful children of China. It's your teacher, Timothy. Time to get the cobwebs out of your mind to learn something new. Just me and you. And of course, George is here. George loves to watch every single lesson because George is learning a lot about the English language and about writing and about grammar and about old stories and about some history and about some social things and some geographical things. And George is learning a lot, let me just say right now. So it's exciting to have George here. And you know what, George? I always like to, what's the sound of this? Do you know that sound? These matches. These are called matches. This is a match. One match. This, many matches inside, right? And remember, talk to a grown-up before you would use matches. Your mom, your dad, your uncle, your aunt, your neighbor, your grandma, your grandpa, whomever you can talk to. Get them to help you if you're a child, because they're dangerous. They can be very dangerous. Fire can be dangerous. It is also beautiful, and that's why I like to light a candle. Are you ready? Nice. So we're going to read through we're going to talk about writing at first. Writing, when you're writing a paper, when you're writing a paragraph, writing about something. And then after writing, we're going to move into some grammar stuff about verbs and what else was there? Pronouns and things like that. So we'll go through that together, okay? Are you ready, George? Good. And George, actually, George, this is an elephant that is going to stand next to you, right next to you here. Yep, you can see, people can see I put it down there next to George's feet, so he has a friend, okay? So that's just what it looks like down by George's feet. Woo, here we go. Let's look at this. First of all, I got to get very tiny. We're getting very tiny now. At first, we're just going to read through this together, okay? And see what we learn together. And there might be times that I talk about it, but mostly we'll be reading so you can read right along with me, all right? Write. Write your first draft. When you write a first draft, you put your ideas into a sentence. Your first draft is your first try at writing about your topic. Here's what Miguel does to write his first draft. Begin. Miguel begins with his sentence starter. Look. Then he looks at his story map. Write. Miguel writes a sentence about each picture. Sentence starters, one summer, and then Miguel wrote, I went to Texas. One day, I lost Azul at school. And here are some drawings. So Miguel's first draft reads like this. One day, let me just see, we'll start again. I just wanted to make sure that one day I lost Azul at school. I opened my backpack. Azul jumped out. I looked and looked. He was on my teacher's desk. So what do we see? I see something here. I see something that is not spelled correctly. Can you find the word that's not spelled correctly? This one. woo, jumped. That's not right. That's not right. So let's see what they say. That was the first draft though. So it's okay to spell, you have to check that later. So here it says, write your first draft. Begin with your sentence starter. Number 2, look at your story map. Number 3, write a sentence for each picture. Revise, that means to come back around and to work on it further. Change your writing. When you revise, you change your writing to make it better. Here is what Miguel does to make his story better. Read. Miguel reads his story to a partner. Talk. They talk about the story. Miguel's partner asks a question. Change. Miguel uses carets, these little guys, to show where he wants to add words. He answers his partner's questions and adds a time order word. Time order words tell when something happens. Time order words are these words like this: then, first, next, soon, later, now. Let's see how Miguel added those. Narrative paragraph. Miguel's revising. So do you see this little caret? They call this a caret. A caret. And it puts it right, this part goes right where that is. So are you able to see this? This part, here's the caret, and this whole sentence will then go right here where this is. Yep. So we'll read it like that. One day, I lost Azul at school. Azul is my pet lizard. I opened my backpack. Then Azul jumped out. I looked and looked. He was under my teacher's desk. Revise. Change your writing to make it better. Read your writing to a partner. Talk about your story. Number 3, change your writing to make it better. Edit. Check your writing. When you edit, you check your writing for conventions. You check for capital letters, remember that, end marks, and spelling. Here is what Miguel does to check his writing. Miguel reads his sentences. He checks for capital letters and end marks and spelling. He marks the changes that he needs to make. So let's see what he found. Oh, yes, he found that word jumped. Oh, and capitalizing then, and then capitalizing here, this H. Yeah, it's the beginning of a sentence, is it? And he forgot this period over here. Oh, so he caught a couple of things. Remember, every beginning of sentence needs to be capitalized, and every sentence needs to end with a period, a question mark, or an exclamation point. So here's the checklist. Miguel uses a checklist. Check your writing. Use this checklist to edit your narrative paragraph. You might want to stop and write this down. These are important things right here to remember. First of all, your capital letters at the beginning of every sentence and every proper noun. Second of all, the end marks, the periods, the question marks, the exclamation points. And third of all, how is your spelling? How is your spelling? Those are the 3 questions that you ask on your checklist, and then you go through it and check that, right? So that would be how you would make your writing even better. And you need a partner to give you ideas, but you also use your checklist and different self-checking ideas, okay? So here's an interesting word, pronoun. What is a pronoun? Well, it's a kind of noun. You can see the word noun is right in here, isn't it? It's like a shorter noun, a general noun. So my name is Timothy Franzik. A pronoun for me might be he, or I, or they, right? Those are pronouns, short words. Maybe if your name, like I know someone named Yushi, it's a woman. So the pronoun for Yushi would be she or her, right? So let's talk about using pronouns. Let's read through this. using pronouns. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. Some common pronouns are he, she, and it. So they're going to show us how you can substitute a pronoun right here. Helen wiggled the tooth. Helen wiggled it. So that, once you know the context, you could say Helen wiggled it, and you know what she's talking about. Let's try this one. Mike had a loose tooth. He had a loose tooth. So there you go. They're changing Mike to he, a pronoun. It could be for any man. Could be even for any male animal. Grammar practice. Choose the right pronoun for each underlined noun. So here we go. This is a little worksheet, kind of a little bit of work that you can do. And so the example is, Mom buys a tree. Now, do we know mom is not a man, mom is a woman. So then you choose. Would you say it buys a tree or she buys a tree? Right. She, that's for a woman. That's the pronoun for a woman. So now you go ahead and do these three. You can stop the video right now and do them, and then you can turn it back on and I will answer them for you. Okay, so let's see if we read these out loud. Number one, Todd helps mom plant the tree. Now you can see that they've underlined, this is the word that we want to replace right here, Todd, because it's underlined and there's the underline and there's the underline. So Todd helps mom plant a tree. The name Todd is a boy's name, a man's name. And so you would say she helps mom plant a tree or he helps mom plant a tree. Well, since it's a boy's name, the pronoun would be he. Number two, then Todd waters the tree. Okay, so here's the word that we want to replace with a pronoun. What would you put? Then Todd waters he, then Todd waters it. Well, in English, trees are not a boy or a girl. They're neutral, so we use the word it. Then Todd waters it. Good. Last one. Mom thanks Todd for helping. Now, mom is a female, a woman. So do we say it or do we say she? What do we have there? You are right, she. She thanks Todd for helping. So those are good choices of pronouns. Proofreader's Guide. Pronouns. A pronoun is a word that takes the place of a noun. Molly likes grapes. She likes grapes. She takes the place of the noun Molly. Robert peeled a banana. Robert peeled it. It takes the place of the noun banana. So the common pronouns, the ones that we would use often in the English language, are these. Let's read them together. I, it, she, we, us, he, her, me, his, them, they, you. Okay. Let's read them again in that same order. Ready? I, it, she, we, us, he, her, me, his, them, they, you. Good. Present tense linking verbs. Present tense, as you know, means right now. And what kind of verbs, linking verbs, do we use? Let's see what a linking verb is. A linking verbs help complete a thought. The linking verb am and is, and are present. Okay, those are present tense. The linking verbs am, is, and are present tense. Am and is are singular, and are is plural. So we use am and is if there's one thing, are if it's more than one thing. So here we are. I am 7 years old. Sarah is my sister. Jim and Seth are friends. Grammar practice. Name the linking verb in each sentence. So here's an example. I am a first grader. Which is the linking verb there? Am. So why don't you stop this video and look at these next three and come up with what you think the linking verb is, and we will talk about it. All right, let's solve these three linking verbs. Number one, ice is hard and cold. Ice is hard and cold. The linking verb is. Pillows and feathers are soft. So there are two things here, pillows and feathers. And then the linking verb is are. I am a good singer. Linking verb is am. There they are, those three. Past tense linking verbs. The linking verbs was and were are past tense. Was is singular, were is plural. So now it's the same kind of verb, linking verb, but it's from before. It's not happening right now. It has already happened. So it's past tense. Let's look. My brother was excited. My parents were surprised. So you can see here they're using the word was when there's just one person, just a brother. When there are two people, two parents, then you use were. Singular and plural. Grammar practice was. Choose the correct linking verb. Let's do the first one, and then you should stop this after this, and you should do the rest yourself, these four. Example, I was hungry, I were hungry. Well, there's only one I. There's only one I right there. So was is the word. I was hungry. Good. So go ahead and stop the video, and then we'll solve the other four. All right. Let's see. Number one, Krista and Jan was friends, or Krista and Jan were friends? Well, there are two of them, so we go to plural, right? Were. Krista and Jan were friends. Number two, my puppy, there's just one puppy. My puppy was sick yesterday. My puppy were sick yesterday. Just one puppy was. The clouds were dark and gray. The clouds was dark and gray. Well, clouds is more than one, because clouds, there might be 5 clouds. There could be 2 clouds. The clouds were. And finally, number 4, the sky is one thing. The sky is one thing. The sky was full of lightning. The sky were full of lightning. No, the sky was. It's a singular, one thing. So there we have it. Is that how you did it? I hope so. Talking more about verbs. A verb is a word that shows action or helps complete a thought. So this is a real action verb. The squirrel jumps from tree to tree. Some action verbs. Let's read these together. Asks, fix, help, hug, go, jump, play, race, read. Linking verbs. The squirrel is a great jumper. Some linking verbs. Let's read them together. Am, were, is, be, are, been, was. Linking verb tenses. That means, was it past tense, present tense, or future tense? Linking verbs can complete thoughts in the present or in the past. Instead of ending in ed, a past tense linking verb becomes a different word. I am a first grader, that's right now, and I was a kindergartner. So it changes from am to was. The children are happy. The children were happy. So it changes from are to were. So the present tense is here. The past tense is here. Let's look at those. Am turns into, in the past, was. Is changes to was. Are changes to were. So lots of things to go over there. All these different ways of looking at things. Let's go way back to the beginning and writing. So let's just go for a second. Maybe you've already done this, but I would encourage you to use their ideas to write something right now. You can stop the video anytime to write your first draft. So Miguel writes his first draft by using these sentences. Look, and you should have these same things. You should write these down. One summer, and then a blank right there, and you should put that in. One day of that summer, and a blank. So you should take those first two sentences, and you should do it your way. For me, I would write, one summer, I went out into the swamps to look for birds. One day, I fell into the swamp. So that I could do that, and then he drew pictures, didn't he, of his backpack, of his friend or his little creature Azul, and then the picture of looking all over the place, and then on the teacher's desk is where he found it. So it tells the story with pictures. You can do that too. That would be good. And then you can write something. And then you look at that and you revise it. You're going to ask a friend to look it over and give some feedback. And remember, these little things are called carrots. It's not like the carrot that you eat, but a little different word. And you put that in if you want to add things. Like adding time order, then or first or next or soon or later or now. Those are words that help to know what's happening when. So you can add those if you'd like. So this is what you read to a partner, and you talk and you change it for the better. I hope that you're doing this. Now look at all these things. And then there's the checklist. Remember, then at the end, you run your checklist of capital letters, end marks, and spelling. And when that's all done, you write it up and you have a beautiful paragraph. So I just wanted to look back at that because we had a moment. Well, that has been a good lesson. George, can you say goodbye? Yeah, George is saying goodbye. Goodbye, my friends. Thank you for a good lesson. It's your teacher, Timothy, and I'm signing off. Now, I am happier, and you are smarter, and the whole world is a little bit smaller. Say goodbye, George. And the elephant to, oh, ow. Don't poke George. Ow. Don't poke George in the, well, I don't know. I'm going to have to talk to them when we're done here. I think we should be done now. Bye-bye.